Realism is one of political and rational philosophy of power, survival, and national interests of individual and states. Hello, in this video, I, LIM, will discuss about how this classical theory of international relation, which is realism, has become one of the infamous political theory being used by many states, such as China, Russian, and North Korean, based on their action in this world. However, this video will only emphasize more on the issue of North Korean with their proliferation of nuclear weapons. So, what is theory of realism and how has it developed throughout this world? Realism, an idea of philosophy that was founded by Thucydides, or at least for its core idea of survival, balance of power, and the pursuit of power and national interest during Peloponnesian War, a battle between Spartans, Athens, and Persians in obtaining power in this world. However, this theory was officially developed by Hans Morgenthau after World War II by the influence of Thomas Hobbes, who is also a developer of this core ideas theory of realism. What I can say in this development of realism was that it was based on Hans Morgenthau writing on his books Politics Amongst Nations in 1948, which is the post-World War II. For example, World War II happened due to the over-reliance and trust of human nature and liberal policies between states, which can be considered as liberalism theory. Due to this, Hans Morgenthau has decided to oppose against this idea, emphasizing more on the pessimistic perspective of human nature. He believed on these three principles: the concept of power as the central of politics, the concept of self-interest as the concept of power, and pursuit of power will take different shape by taking logical action. But what can we understand about this concept of this theory? In simple terms, realism is basically based on rational and logical action for maintaining the power and sovereignty of each state. It means we have to do whatever it takes for the importance of our own state, in this case, the state as the prime actor in international system, neglecting the concept of interdependence and cooperation between states. This theory was all about striving for power or power struggle, since this world is anarchy, it which means this world does not have any central world government to enforce any laws, opposite of liberalist thinkers. And by living in this anarchic world, balance of power is needed, in which means preventing any other states from obtaining hegemony power, unless when it comes to their own interests. So what is the purpose of this theory? To be simplified, it is about maintaining balance of power, national security, the sovereignty of state, and self-gain for hegemony power and preventing other states from obtaining it. Every state and political theory will have their ways of gaining national interest, but how can it be done from a realist thinker? To be informed that realism was a self-reliance and interdependence, so no power of cooperation and interdependence will involve like liberalist thinkers. Opposite of liberalism, realist thinkers obtain their national interests, which are their survival and sovereignty, through hard power, emphasizing more on the economic power and military strength and capabilities, as they believe that peace obtained through victory of war. So what are some terms that we can see to describe this theory of realism? Self-interest and autocracy, egoistic and desire for power, demonstration of power, and zero-sum game, in which mean either you gain everything or lose everything. As been told before, Realism does not really into cooperation except when it comes to their own national interests. They view international institutions only as a brutal arena in taking advantage of opportunity at each other. They are skeptical on international institutions as they only view it as a tool of balance of power, and they believe that cooperation is a constraint of power in power pursuit. For example, North Atlantic Treaty Organization (NATO) for power and security of states. So let's take a closer look into North Korea that shows a lot of their realism criteria. One of the current issues in these times was including their power pursuit through nuclear weapons. Some background of why we can consider North Korea as a realist state. Some research has been done stated that the ongoing nuclear proliferation of North Korea because it's the only way they can maintain their powers. As in realist thinkers, they must maintain this power through a basis of interest rather than ideals. According to Popular 2019, North Korea could only rely on the nuclear issues as a way to improve their national security level and gaining international attention. It is said that it's the only way North Korea can survive from being dominated by other states and even be recognized as international system. Since they do not have any advantage from any aspect of economic or military capabilities, nuclear powers are the only option they got. For example, according to Guardian News in 2024, North Korea has speed up their nuclear proliferation to counter any threat presented by hostile nuclear weapon states. Back in the past, North Korea also had shown other signs of realism by not relying on international institutions in this anarchy world. For example, the violation of Non-Proliferation Nuclear Treaty (NFT), which helped to stop any further nuclear weapon engagement that was established in 1968. North Korea has violated this agreement by launching nuclear tests on 2006, 2009, 2013, 2016, 2017, and could even launch another one in near future. They have violated this as they view international institutions as only a platform of opportunity, like taking advantage of nuclear proliferation while other states still not in engagement of it. After that, North Korea has optioned out from this agreement and keeping their pursuit of nuclear power, even though many sanctions over them has been applied. According to Emmanuel Maitri in 2023, North Korea announced its unilateral withdrawal from Non-Proliferation Treaty (FMT) (NPT), and this evidence obviously has made their belief of weak international institutions came true as the organization failed to stop North Korea. After that, North Korea using the approach of hard power also can be viewed as in realist context. Hard power as in nuclear weapons as a way to obtain hegemony power. According to Popular 2019, also, nuclear power of North Korea has become an instrument of foreign policy. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un has prioritized the nuclear development over other needs of states such as economic prosperity, welfareism, and even human protection. They believe nuclear power as the main needs to obtain other needs. They even have interest in engagement of war. For example, according to Shin 2024, North Korea Kim has urged to improve military capabilities for war. So to be concluded, does their action fit in the realist context? Yes, it does perfectly fit. North Korea does not rely on international institutions. They do not rely on cooperation or interdependence with other states, and certainly their effort in gaining national security and war was not a peaceful resolution, but a zero-sum game. According to Popular 2019, North Korea believes their effort in military strength is much more effective than trusting other states which can prove untrustworthy and could end up disappointing them. But the most important question is, does their action work based on a realist context? Yes, it does, but not in a good way. While North Korea able to get attention from international institutions, but it has brings to the expense of civilian life in North Korea causes humanitarian crisis. According to the UK Parliament 2023, North Korea has become a global threat to security, making state afraid to undermine the national security of North Korea. And that's all for today. For what is important to learn in this realist context, that it's important to state whether the end justifies the mean to achieve it. Thank you for watching.